Oh, I don't say nothing. I just shake my ass. I used to make good money though.
You did?
Yeah.
What was the most you ever brought home?
I don't know, like 1,000.
So 1 minute you like, fuck wigs, I'm not wearing wigs, I don't like lace fronts, I'm done with makeup, I'm not dressing like that. Then the next day you got on
I
makeup.
applaud you. Like, I can't do it. I'm trying so hard to keep up. Because I just want to be bald, okay? I just want to be bald. I don't want no makeup on. I don't want no nails. I don't want nothing. But I have to go to work.
So that's why you be doing that.
Yeah,
It
for
just
work.
be a mood. It just be like, bitch, fuck it. Sometimes I just want to be bald, and then sometimes you just want to be a bad bitch.
When I pop out bald with no makeup, I just be tired. I just be like, especially with kids too.
So we gonna talk about plastic surgery real quick.
Yes.
Did you get dimples?
I got dimples. I got everything under the sun. And there's more to get.
If we are really paying attention, one of the things that is difficult to ignore is that being pretty, being attractive, being cute, being nice looking is no longer the standard. The new standard is that some women feel as though they need to be the fantasy. They feel as though they need to meet. And I can't even say it's the fantasy of a man, but I think it's become the fantasy that women think that men have. Summer Walker was recently interviewed by Young Miami, and this became apparent. So there's a few things I want to talk about in this video, and I'm going to try my best to break it down. But she talked about stripper culture. And real quick, you guys, I have a fan. So just really quick to interrupt. You see me kind of moving here. I have a fan because I'm hot. But if I turn the air on, you guys will hear the white noise. So stripper culture is something that, you know, we all are pretty much aware of, has made it into the realm of hip hop, has made it into, you know, social media, has really infiltrated the average everyday Black woman's life. Many of the women, such as Summer Walker, such as Cardi B, you can talk about Black China, you can talk about Amber Rose. Many of these women, you know, who were former strippers and now, you know, either performing artists or now even, you know, actors and business women. Coming from stripper culture, you know, there's a lot of things that has infiltrated every day, the modern Black woman's everyday life. And I'm talking about beauty standards. And so I noticed that a lot of the women who come from being a stripper, former strippers, some of them, not all, some of them seem to have a different standard of beauty. This is just my observation from the women in hip hop, you know, the women on television. So Summer Walker, you know, talked about, you know, coming from stripper culture when she was talking to Young Miami, but the conversation evolved into talking about beauty standards. And Summer Walker admitted that, you know, she's had many different surgeries. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Summer Walker, you know, I look back at old pictures and videos of her. It's obvious that she's had quite a bit done, but when I look back at these old pictures and videos, and I just remember when she first came out and getting a little bit familiar with her, I always thought she was just naturally pretty. You know, I thought even though she had the more rugged look, she also had a pretty face. And I always wondered, why did this girl get all these tattoos on her face? You know, but whatever. Even despite the tattoos, in my opinion, I still felt like, wow, it's a cute girl. And so we see how Summer Walker has evolved. And I don't know if you want to argue for the best, but she's had a lot of work done. And as she stated, there's more work that she still wants to do. So I want to talk about, again, this idea of being pretty no longer being quote unquote good enough. And I feel as though women want to, and at all costs, will try their best to become a fantasy. And it's just really, in my opinion, getting out of hand. And stay tuned, as I will be doing a video about Botox and filler. Because on my channel, I've covered BBLs and, things like that. But I actually haven't really talked much about facially in terms of things that Black women do to change their facial features. And I can just remember, some years ago, where, you would see a person and immediately you would be like, oh, you look better in person. Like that was a thing, is to see someone on Facebook or, online. And then when you would meet them or see them in person, you would say, you look so much better in person, and particularly with like online dating and stuff like that. I remember, that statement being thrown around either to me or, me saying it to someone else. And I just feel like that statement, this idea of someone looking better in person, has become a bit antiquated because of all of the, things that you can now do, in the name of AI, all the things that you can do to alter the way you look. So going back to Summer Walker, I saw a video of her, and it's actually on the thumbnail of this video, a picture of her. And I know a lot of people were confused because they were like, okay, did she have more surgeries done to her face? Or is this some type of filter? Is she using multiple filters? And I'm not really sure. I know she's admitted to many surgeries. It appears as though she's had her nose done. It appears as though she gets lip filler. She's had the dimples put on both sides of her cheeks and things like that. Her facial cheeks. But also, filters, and by filters, I mean the face altering filters have become a thing as well. And so now when you see pictures and videos of people, you really don't know if you're seeing the real deal. You're not, it's no way, it's really hard to tell sometimes. You need to be particularly careful. If you have daughters, or if you have children, if you have nieces, nephews, if you have little cousins, we want to be careful about these filters that change the way your face looks, and putting pictures on Instagram and putting pictures on, videos or whatever on TikTok, when people will comment and say, oh, you look so amazing, and that is actually not even what you look like. We need to be careful about our ideal of what we should look like being our avatar. Again, we need to be careful about the ideal self of us, the ideal beauty standard being our avatar, meaning being something that doesn't even really exist. Because this is the new beauty standard. This is the new Black beauty standard. And I think there is an incredible pressure that many people feel, whether it be celebrities or IG models or just the average everyday woman or the average everyday person feels this incredible pressure to ensure that the perception online, whatever you look like online, it is important to make sure that when you see people in person, that it matches. So there's become this quest to make sure that if I'm using this filter on my photos, or if I'm altering my videos and I look quote unquote better, that when I see people in person, I have to then make sure that what I look like in person matches the photo and matches the video. This is a new pressure. And I'm sure you all have heard of people going to the plastic surgeons and showing them their altered, filtered face from an app and saying, make my face look like this. Summer Walker, in my opinion, was naturally beautiful. My concern about Summer Walker is that she will, at some point, begin to resemble Little Kim. Not in the sense that she looks like Little Kim, but we all have seen, Little Kim's transformation, and it is not good. And when Summer Walker said to Young Miami, oh yeah, there's more surgery. Summer Walker, I've heard it in other videos. She's talked about, I'm just getting started with the surgery. It's like, why are you just getting started? You look great already. And even it was a video that she did with Ari Lennox. It might have been a couple years ago. It was it was like a sit down she had with Ari Lennox, and she talked about her butt, and she was saying how, well, I had to get a BBL because I just had a long back. I had no curve. And that is a lie, because I have seen videos of Summer Walker before she even became famous, and she looked fine. She looked good. She looked fit. She looked like what most young, Black, beautiful women look like. So again, going back to this quest to become the fantasy, Black women are trying to achieve something and doesn't really exist, but also they get sucked into now having to then, keep piling on the procedures because they have to keep up with whatever it is they're doing. And it becomes addictive. And I do believe that Summer Walker is in fact addicted to plastic surgery. So there are levels to this. There are levels. And again, I'm going to come up with 3 categories that I created in terms of where Black women are, modern Black women are with beauty standards. The categories are: number 1, emulate; category number 2, curate; and category number 3, become. And let me break down these really quickly for you. So if you're a Black woman, and keep in mind, these are in no particular order, in terms of, like, a Black woman could go from not wearing any makeup or doing anything, and then all of a sudden go get a BBL. So I'm not saying that you have to, but there's levels, because in the emulate phase, and again, this is the idea of becoming the fantasy. Many women, most women wear makeup. I have a little makeup on right now, so I think that goes without saying. So emulating could be, you're putting on makeup, perhaps a lot of makeup, contouring your face, putting on the lashes, the wigs, the weaves, this type of thing, the long nails. But all of these things you're emulating, because all of these things can be taken off. None of this is permanent. So you could take the makeup off, you could take the lashes off, you could take the wigs off, and so forth, right? That's emulate. So that's kind of like the first level. And most women exist just right there. They're good right there. The next level is curate. So for this one, it's like you're doing, in most cases, you're probably doing all the things that I previously just stated, but you're also using the filters, particularly the filters that change your face. Now, again, I use filters in terms of the way I color my photos. And I've played around with certain apps. And not so much in terms of changing my face, but like making things look smoother. And I'll be honest with you, those apps, those features always make me a little bit uncomfortable, because again, going back to this idea of well, if someone sees me in person, I don't want the response to be, oh, wow, you look nothing like your photo. You know what I mean? So, but this is curating. So curating is, you know, whether you have makeup and all the bells and whistles on or not, but then you're adding, you know, you're sort of curating the experience that the world sees, you know, and this is not necessarily bad, but it can be dangerous, because where do you draw the line? You know, I mean, literally, you can, via an app, make yourself look smaller, make your waist look smaller, make your hips look bigger. So you could essentially embody a BBL look online, and in real life have a much more natural look to you. So curating, you know, in terms of adding filters, again, that change your body structure, that change your face structure. This is what the average person is doing. And then the last level is what I call become. And this is, again, this idea of becoming the fantasy, where to really become the fantasy, you actually have to undergo a procedure, you know, because yes, lashes, again, you could come home, snatch your lashes off. You could add a filter on, you know, a photo, but then you're probably going to see someone in person. So at some point, some women feel as though they have to take that final step. They have to make it, tie it all together by then becoming the fantasy, by going and getting permanent things done to their face and to their body. So again, you know, these are the levels. I just kind of was thinking about this and wanted to bring this to you. Let me know what you all think about, you know, Black women and the desire to become a fantasy, you know, to actually be an avatar in real life. And this reality that, you know, if you are changing your body and changing your face via an app, that person that you're projecting to the world does not exist. Again, this is not a judgment, but this is something to consider. And I think many of us, on some level or another, because AI is so powerful, on some level or another, many of us are indulging in this. Like even the beautifier feature, you know, and and it just makes your face look so perfect and so smooth and no pores and like it's just not, it's not real, you know. And so what do you all think about all of this? And particularly, what do you all think about Summer Walker? Really quick, for my What Content Creators Never Tell You segment for my business, Curated Legacy. Speaking of AI, you know, I think many writers, many artists, if you're a content creator, we are all trying to figure out how to incorporate AI into our content and into our writing and things like that, because it is, as we have been hearing, it is the wave of the future. And so I personally don't use AI like that. I mean, it's like when I come up with my own thumbnails, and like I title my video, like everything right now is coming from my own brain. But at some point I do want to figure out how to use some of the new tools coming out, because I think the statement is that, you know, that there's a fear that AI will replace writers, or AI could potentially replace, you know, certain people, certain artists. And they say that AI cannot replace you if you learn how to at least use it. So AI can potentially replace people who don't know how to use it. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, and again, I haven't figured it out yet, but how to incorporate artificial intelligence into what I do, not only as a content creator as well as a writer. But currently I'm using it at a minimum. I mean, I can't really say I don't use it, because I'm sure it's showing up somewhere, but I don't even know where, to be honest with you, because like I said, I title all my own videos, I come up with the thumbnails, everything you see right now on my channel is coming from me. You know what I'm saying? But that is what some content creators may not tell you, is that many of us are trying to figure out how to incorporate AI and what place AI will hold in our lives as an artist, as a writer, as an author, you know, and again, as a content creator. So yeah, comment below, let me know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the thumbnails that you see at the very end of this video. Naka here to make the invisible visible. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.